One, two, three,
Live.
go.
We are. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We've been gone for a couple of weeks due to various and sundry reasons, mostly COVID. But we are now back this Sunday and next Sunday again, and the Sunday after we'll be gone again. But we're gonna get a session in to keep you all tidied up and at least keep the masses entertained for a little while. So without any further ado or aboots or anything else, we're going to go into the recap from last session, starting with Estrella.
Yeah, we were still in the temple after slaying some hags and freed the children from their cages after Estrella accidentally got locked in as well, because apparently we needed a special item for this trap to not activate, which were badges that we then received that gave us new ranks in an old army, it appeared, from the first or second, I'm not sure on that point, empire, I think second empire. Preacher also learned a little bit more about his past. Apparently he had a rank already. He can tell us more about that later. So yeah, we rescued the children, we escaped from that temple because apparently that training was about to be reset and we did not want to go through that again. And we later on received information about a person that Zara was looking for that was seen entering Crac de Chevalier. So let's go over to Preacher.
Thank you. Indeed, there was a very revelating session last time for Preacher. Learned quite a bit about the lore and background stories of the automatons of the old Second Empire and that particular age. Although, still a lot of questions unanswered. First of all, the training facility that we somehow survived announced that I have now completed the training course for the elite, and that will be added to Colonel Chaplain Hiram. We are unsure whether Hiram is actually the original name. Could have been a rank, could have been a specific title. We don't know, but it's entirely possible. Onward, I actually conversed quite a bit with the champion of the Emperor, Grimaldus, who came by. I actually was inquiring where he was located so I could go meet him. He came in person instead. And revealed that Preacher was actually of a particular species or a special kind that's called a breathtaker. Apparently, the old, the generals had a last resort. If the battle was going against them and one of them was killed, Breathtaker was assigned to basically safeguard that spirit. He would capture it on the edge of death to be inserted into a new body. So yeah, apparently, yeah. I don't know if I'm going to call myself a medic or a ghostbuster. I have no idea. This is very interesting revelations. So yeah, we had a large amount of things to talk about. I don't remember half of it, but I did translate it into taking an ancestral skill. So now I'm actually automaton lore as well as arcane and crafting in relation to that, which should help me with the other automaton that has been given to my care. Did ask Grimaldus about that. What is actually going on with Chastity? And he basically advised me to, well, let her pick her own role or try and shape her. That's up to me as the mentor. Finally, I did impart a couple of interesting discoveries that we've made along the way that concerned Grimaldus greatly. There was a couple of documents that we found in a old facility that implied that the second legion of, well, I don't have the numbers now, but there was a army inventory, and there was some hints that some other people may be interested in learning how to make further automatons. Romulus was very worried about this and ran off. Over to Bonti. See what Mador has to say.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I learned a little bit more. It seems like some of the golden wyverns areas are under dispute by certain lords. The Grand Master mentioned I should probably use some of these kids that we rescued to start their training, because there already has a kind of military background, marching, information, order is just, we don't know if that had to do with some of the brainwashing or whatever was done to them while they're in the cages. But at this time, I'm still looking for where I can set up an area where I can start rebuilding the golden wyverns. I also know that the supposedly area that I'm a baron of is not even worth going in there right now. I think that's too many. I think demon spawns or whatever in that area. Still trying to figure out about a lady that left in a caravan 2 days before the siege started. Trying to get some more information on this individual. Otherwise, no, I think that covers most of it for me. Over to Marisol.
Yeah. So we finished the trial in the Hag Slayer, and we were better than some guy named Haller and his company. That was kind of cool. Then we got teleported back to our tower, where we all got new uniforms if we needed clothes, which most of us did because everything was hag stinky. And we also got tiny uniforms for the children. Yay! That was pretty cute, I guess. I went on to avoid the children because they were really afraid of women, and went to help the protection of the city, really. So, yeah, that was what I remember. Yodi?
Yes. Yeah, we got the badges. We figured out the whole trap, let the kids free. Then we had a bit of downtime we were working on and whatnot. I bought a shop. Hold on, this cat is being aggressively into my lap. Hold on 1 second. Anyways, so I bought a shop, Yodi's Grandiose Gallery. Yeah, now you want to leave. Great. And I worked on Zara's hammer, made it much whammoier. That's a word I'm going to make up. And I spent a lot of my time moving over runes. I made myself a new staff. And other than that, I just kind of collected a whole bunch of gold that appeared out of nowhere on my bed. That was fun. And so now I'm laden down with all of the hoard. And that's all I remember. So I'll pass it to Edamir.
Yeah, the only thing I have to add is when I picked up my badge, I tried to make myself the Angel of Mice Death and broke the whole machine. That's about it for me. Zara?
Yes. So the test we passed denoted us as successful recruits for the 3rd Advanced Frontier Force Squad, 2nd Battalion, 4th Brigade, 7th Army of the Second Empire. So we have some official affiliations. We are very important now, being privates, except for our Colonel Chaplain. Zara slipped down out of the tower and disguised herself to go check on the people that she and Edamir had saved before we found this temple in the first place to do hag busting, and made sure that the people that we had saved actually, survived the whole process, and also tried to get a little more information about who's been dealing smiley weed in the city. The only name he had was the guy that got murdered previously in the Satyr's hairy donkey. So not particularly useful because I can't, interrogate the dead. Maybe I should invest in that. Aside from that, yeah, I think that's the majority of everything. Everything's been covered, unless Magnus has anything he would like to add.
Not a lot. Magnus took note of the designation as well. He remembers that kind of thing. Turned out to be very good at comforting the kids that we rescued, to help get them settled, get them into the lovely little uniforms and all that kind of thing. Noted that Estrella was talking to someone that he didn't see appear, which is getting very annoying. And apart from that, just waiting to figure out what we're doing next. Back to Shoggy.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Honestly, we've been going on for a long ass while with downtime. You are coming to the end of the time you've been spending. It's been almost a month in Ravensbridge, kind of setting things up, working with the guard. Yodi's been shuffling runes from one magic item to the other as if it's going out of style. It's you pretty much have started to feel the itch to be moving, and you're all it's the morning of the 30th day, so I assume most of you are still out doing your things. A preacher is sitting in the tower, kind of relaxing with enjoying the smell of some recaf. Oh, I mean black bean brew is what it's called in this world. When there's a knock on the door, so semi-frantic.
This bodes well. Yeah, I'll amble over and open.
Yeah, outside are two of the men of clay, slightly singed. Seems one still. You can see some smoldering on his monk's robes. Like, Marshal, you should come. Your ward is causing trouble.
Oh my god. Alright, I shout back into the tower. Chastity is having some issues. I need to run out and check on this.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody is still in the tower. That's going to be up to them. Or whether they're out doing their things. But you can hear a little thundering boom from down in the merchant's quarter. Yeah, the sound's pretty recognizable to you, although you're usually closer when Yodi lobs a fireball at something.
Show the way, I tell the man of clay, and start running.
Yeah, they take off. Of course, they gotta slow down a bit, but or they can. Preacher's got to slow down a bit because he's faster than them. But they sprint down towards the merchant's quarter, and kind of stop at a corner. You can hear Chastity screaming out in the square, the merchant square in front of it.
Oh lord!
Let me in! Don't protect him! He's a crook!
I run around the corner and try to assess which story is he trying to get into.
This is the area where caravans mostly have their warehouses, or the caravan guilds and the merchant houses. There's a very scared elderly halfling with graying hair and bare feet, dressed in a white shirt and just dark green pants, hiding behind 6 of the city guard who have locked their tower shields. In front of him, you can see fire starting to go out in the shields, and 2 men of clay were standing trying to calm Chastity down. She's holding a threatening finger, just crackling with lightning up. That man's a crook! You need to arrest him! Don't spout to me about evidence! Have you any idea who my dad is?
Oh Lord. I march up and put myself in front of her finger and look at her and say, "Tell what happened."
Thank God you're here. Thank Allah you're here. That scoundrel back there's... he's smuggling something, I know it. I've been trying to help out, and I know he's got something in that warehouse that he doesn't want us to see. But when I tried to go in and to see what it was, and first his guards attacked me, and then the city guard came, and they didn't believe me, and he's been saying all sorts of lies about how automatons are just soulless monsters. You are! You can hear him shout from behind the guards.
Oh boy. First off, relax, put down your finger, no violence.
But you use violence to solve things all the time. It works.
Only when it is appropriate. This is not appropriate. Calm down.
How do you know it's not appropriate? You just came. Why won't you believe me?
I will believe you the moment you lower your finger and talk to me instead of trying to solve this by violence first. I need to understand the situation before I can actually say what's appropriate.
He's a scoundrel and he's hiding things, and he had his guards attack me. Go punch him.
First of all, what was it you suspected was in that warehouse, and how did you come to that suspicion?
Oh. I've been going to, the places that Zara goes, and keeping my eyes open and listening, and he's definitely not on the up and up. He's up to something.
Mm-hmm.
Every time Zara comes in, he kind of sits up straight and laughs and talks boisterously and drinks beer and talks about cakes and going back to his hole in a side of a hill and screwing his wife. And then when she's not there, he hunches down and smokes a pipe, and he's got a little elongated black thing he puts a cigarette in and smokes. Nobody does that. It's obviously a villain.
Are these the only ways you can interpret those actions, really?
I mean, look at him. He's a crook. And he's shaking behind the shield wall of city guards like, she killed my men. I want her hanged for this.
Did you kill any of the guards?
Well, they attacked me. That's what you do when people attack you.
Oy, way.
What was I supposed to do? Let him just hammer me to pottery bits?
No, but perhaps before you tried to force your way inside, you would have stepped away and actually talked to me or somebody that is authorized to do investigations like demanding entry, which by legal right you don't actually have at the moment.
You said you were having an off day.
Yes, I was.
Yeah, so why
wasn't
did I
doing
talk
it.
to you? And
Well,
the guard wouldn't listen to me when I told him he was a crook. I'm
How
pretty
about
certain he
the
paced him off.
How about the other men of clay that could have perhaps responded a little bit around the questions?
Well, they weren't around, and if I went away, he was going to hide the evidence. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
Just trust me. There's something in there.
I have no doubt there might be something in there. But, due course, legal action, we are not barbarians.
What is the due course then, Mr. Marshall, sir?
First off, we have to have due and legal process, meaning we have to have good suspicions before we demand entry like this.
I've got great suspicions.
Yes. But they are vague depending on what you're interpreting his behavior. You haven't seen a legal item, have you?
No, because I couldn't get in because his guards attacked me.
Well, we have to see we have to see an item which is illegal, or at least overhear or see something exchanged that indicates that there might be one in there. You're judging him by his behavior, which could easily be explained by the fact that he is interested in Zara in some way.
Him?
Mm-hmm.
Ew!
Yeah, still possible. There's many interpretations in this situation.
But, creature, you can't just let him get away. Whatever he's got in there, it's going to disappear. I know it.
I will talk to the fellow. Give me a moment. We don't act rashly. We are creatures that have all the time of the ages.
That's why you were slow getting up in the morning, or mumbling.
Possibly. Would you mind giving me a few moments to actually converse with the guard and see what this man is actually about? I need to know more about the fellow.
Yeah, as long as you promise me that if his goon squad tries anything, you punch his head off.
I don't think they will try anything. Wait one moment here, please.
It's going to be difficult for the aforementioned goon squad to try anything. As you can see that at least 6 of them have been blown to smithereens.
Oh boy. I sense a weregild coming up. Now, city guards. Are there any city guards around?
Yeah, there's 6 of them with tower shields that are now kind of giving those little pinging sounds you get when metal starts cooling off.
Yeah, the senior one in that group. I'll call him over and actually take a couple of steps away from Chastity.
Yeah. So he comes over and like, Marshall, I don't know. They obviously attacked her, but she did lob a fireball at me and my men, which I'll have to admit I'm not too huge of a fan of, but given all the service you've done for the city, I'm willing to forget about that part.
Thank you. That was most kind. I apologize for the fact that she responded with violence. There is a little bit left in her growth to see possible interpretations of situations.
You can hear from behind the shield, violence! She burned off my mustache! No, the sergeant turns around like, that couldn't have been called a mustache anyway. She did you a favor.
Who is this man?
Sorry about that, sir. This man, Leo Lochenhauer, out of Riederstadt.
Mm-hmm.
Has
he any particular shady past in here?
Not that we are aware of. We could write to Friedrichstadt to see if he's got him or his guild have any infractions. The guild here is barely 8 months old.
Mm.
Don't know too much about him, but I know they started. This warehouse was the relic before, so I remember. And it's about 8 months ago they started refurbishing it because it was my wife's birthday. But you'd have to check with the city council. They would have had to start get permits and stuff like that much earlier. But I don't know when that would have been. It's far above my pay grade, and boy, am I happy for that.
Yes. Do you know the trade of this man?
Well, from what he says himself, he's a gilder. Like he works with the merchant guild and does merchant guild stuff. As far as I'm aware, that's all we know about him currently.
Well, that speaks to his favor, since if we had any dirt on him, or if he was guilty of anything, we would know a lot more, I suppose.
Well, yes, and no. Of course, coming out of Friedrichstadt, we don't really have much in the way of information on the man.
Would you mind accompanying me over to the wounded and dead, just to have an official eye on this?
Very well. Of course, sir.
I walk over to the people that have been killed and make sure that it's actually, traces of her style, magic, gunfire.
It's definitely a fireball. You're pretty certain of that. You've seen the effect of fireballs. Fireballs.
Do they have weapons out? Could this have been a defensive measure on her part?
They have weapons out. You can see clubs mostly, not the nice baton. I'm gonna smack you a little bit over the head and take you down to the station type clubs, but solid wood with spikes or metal reinforcement on the end. And two of them are actually hobgoblins from the look of the remains and the old but well-kept katanas.
Very well. I'll need to talk to the fellow now. I walk over to the trader, the gilder.
Ah, finally! Somebody in charge! This crazy woman, she attacked us! I want her arrested and hanged and quartered and drawn and...
From the start, sir, please.
Into fractions! I was sitting enjoying my morning bagel and coffee, and this espresso is quite excellent. But and then I hear this screeching harpy going like, "I will kill you all, and I will steal your gold and jump on your remains because I am a villain and doing illegal things." And I ask my guards to gently escort her out, and then she killed him with a fireball and started throwing lightning at me. I have done nothing wrong. Die Geschenke für die Gegenwart Guild will have their insurance payment for this.
I take a look at the man, as visually inspecting whether he's actually been hit with anything remotely like lightning or fireballs, etc.
Give us a perception roll.
Yes, sir.
He looks fairly untouched. Did I see Sora have a hand up there?
Yeah, Zara's gonna open the front door.
Ah, Sora comes sauntering out of the warehouse.
You guys are awfully loud.
Another burglar! Arrest her! Have them both hanged!
Guards, could you please arrest that man for smuggling automata?
One of the guards goes like, "Who the hell is that?" And the other's like, "Did he burn your ears out as well as your mustache? That's the smuggler buster." And as the guards come moving up towards him, Prisha can see he's going for some sort of weapon. I see a hand from Edamir here.
Yeah, Edamir's just gonna come crawling in between Zara's feet and just stick his head out.
Yep. So, yeah, you see his hand is going behind his back, Preacher. What are you going to do about it?
Well, I'm going to grab the hand and pull it back out, of course.
Right, well, give us an attack roll then. Or a grappling roll. You do both in one usually, but...
Yeah, let's do an athletics, actually.
Not punch for full damage and then grab? Oh,
no.
Okay. Yeah, he's tied up like a pretzel before he has any idea, and you see a small 4-barrel pistol fall from his hand as you smack him into the ground.
Turn to the guard that was in charge and say, please inspect and gather the evidence. Squad, observe.
And you can hear Chastity, you see her kind of jumping up and down, clapping her hands like, see, now my dad's here and you're the one who's going to be hanged and dissected.
Chastity, I'm very disappointed in you.
What, Auntie Sarah, why?
Did they see you trying to get in the warehouse?
Well, yeah, I kind of,
Then you failed.
went up and knocked.
How are you supposed to get evidence asking politely about illegal doings? It's illegal. They're hiding it. They're not going to show you their illegal dealings if you ask nicely.
But Preacher just said I needed to be nice and follow procedures and stuff.
If you want
There's
to be
two
like your
different,
father, yes.
two different approaches to this situation.
If you would like to get into investigations, then you need to go to different classes. I did follow procedures.
And
I just use a different rule book.
I thought he wanted me to be a diversion. I saw him swishing his tail. And she points to Edamir.
Oy vey.
He found a mouse.
It was crunchy.
She face palms.
I hand over the gilder, which probably is hanging upside down or something, to the guards, and they can manacle him.
I will have your badge for this. I want to speak to a manager. And Sarah's like, yeah, take it up with the burnt mustache. They start trundling him down towards the closest station.
Well, Zara, what exactly have these people been smuggling?
There are 2 automaton in boxes.
Let's see
They're
them.
smuggling your people.
Let's see them. I walk into the warehouse.
Yeah, I'm assuming Sarah's going to show him the boxes she found.
Yes.
Don't start dipping, kids. It's a filthy habit. Sarah leads him to 2 boxes standing upright. One has the ugliest lamp you've ever seen inside of it. Looks like something that somebody described a deer to a drunk gnome at some point, and he tried to make a lamp from the description. And the other is filled with boxes and boxes of oatmeal cookies with raisins. The type of thing nobody would be interested in. But you can see there's a hollow back to the boxes.
Mm-hmm. Well, pretty soon there's not going to be any hollow walls because they're going to be opened. So, open.
Right,
Preacher.
yeah. Preacher style opening, so you yank them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see 2 automatons in front of you, not made of the same type of terracotta as you, but one seems to be a type of marble, and the other is very nicely wrought mithril, you think.
Wow. Are they new make or old make? Roll the 19.
Well, you're pretty certain they're old make, but there were never put any. And as you start thinking the thoughts, Preacher feels like a sucking feeling in his chest, and there's a blinding flash of light, and one of the automatons looks up, and you can hear Cal's voice going like, "What the fuck?"
Oh no. I immediately go into hands up, like, Cal, are you okay? Or are you old, or are you still affected under control?
And the other automaton takes one step out, and you hear Leo's voice go, "Hund und Hund, ich fühle krank," and then they both
my.
fall over and go unconscious.
Manacles, now. For the love of... I turn around to the men of clay. They're probably googling into the doorway and shout at them to get 2 large carts and so the heaviest chains they could possibly find, and we're going to cart them back to the tower and secure them.
Right.
Or we just destroy them here.
No. The souls of 2 of our friends have suddenly jumped into these.
Former friends that tried to kill us?
Exactly. We need to figure out if they are...
Preacher's tried to kill me before. We haven't arrested him yet.
That was different.
Was it though? We won't know until we have a chance to investigate what's going on inside their minds.
Yeah, we need to find somebody that is good at that mind stuff.
Yeah, they
ask and you shall receive.
they come running with carts are easy to find. You're in the caravan quarter. I mean, carts are pretty much everywhere. And they found a shipment of chains headed for a galleon. Some galleon anchor chain, if you will. You'll all have to excuse me. I've still got a chest infection after COVID, so there's going to be some coughing today. So the biggest issue is probably going to find carts that can actually survive having that galleon chain on it. As the men of clay have found Faith now, and he's been pretty diligent in carrying the chains for you.
Wonderful. Well, we're gonna have to improvise, and me and Faith and probably Chester is gonna have to try and get these back.
Yes, you will probably be able to do that. It takes a little while to find a wagon, but not too long. There's a huge iron-bound wagon with like blades and spikes studding out everywhere, being pulled by what looks like 2 mechanical oxen and driven by a very cranky ratfolk man sitting with a gun in his lap, willing to drive it up for you for the measly price of 50 gold.
That's no problem.
Smells faintly of goat and camel in the back of that cart, but it does get the job done.
He gets a gold up front, actually, because I don't think he's gonna say no after being loaded with it.
He looks back at y'all, bites the gold coin, stuffs it in his hat, and kind of shrugs his shoulders and like, I've seen worse.
All right. Once we get them up there, we're gonna have to try and get them down into somewhat secure, I don't know, dungeon or some kind of room that we can secure.
Well, there's no dungeon in that tower. I mean, you have 2 rooms that have heavier doors than the other. One is to the armory, and the other is to the pantry.
How much is in the armory currently?
Nothing. The armory's empty.
Well then, they're going in there for the moment. Faith, I'm gonna have to borrow you for a little while. Could you help out here for a day or so while we get this figured out?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right. I need the whole crew together because we need to figure out exactly what we're going to do with this. Somebody find the captain.
Which of the captains, Marshal?
I'm thinking actually of our captain, Marisol.
Ah, yes. I think she just went on a date with Lieutenant Walter.
Perfect timing. Tell her Cal and Leo is back and she should come running.
Yep. So, Marisol has just gotten her first glass of wine and her omelette when one of the men of clay comes up and whispers in her ear, like,
Turn around, go away.
"Ma'am, Marshal Preacher wants to see you. It seems your companions Calisir and Leopold have been put into automaton bodies, and he needs your advice."
What? Walton?
The waiter looks at your glass of wine, and you're like, "Would you like that to go?"
Yes, please, make it a bottle.
"As you wish, ma'am." And Walter's like, Go, you have work."
I'm so sorry. Again.
"Well, we've had 3 consecutive weeks without somebody trying to kill us. It's some sort of record for our relationship. It was bound to happen at some point."
Yeah. I'll see you later. I'll come knock tonight, I hope.
"Absolutely. I will meet you at the schnitzel place."
Sounds good. I'm gonna grab the bottle and head out.
Frickin' hell.
What the hell is happening, Preacher?
I opened the door and we discovered the 2 automaton bodies smuggled. I came close to them, unearthed them from their boxes, and without my consent or control, 2 souls left me and jumped into these things, which is technically probably the right thing to do in my old profession as a breath taker. I did not think it would happen without me actually doing anything, though, actively.
So what you're telling is that the things are now Leo and Cal.
Yes, and I'm not entirely certain they are free from their old influences, if they're back to their old selves, or what the hell is going to happen when they wake up.
Quite rude to call them things. They're just uninhabited people.
Well, at the moment, I don't know exactly how much of their souls are left, so yes. Either way, I'm a little bit shocked.
So, can we talk to them? Find out if this is bad or good, Cal and Leo?
That's exactly what I'm trying to find out. We probably need somebody that can investigate minds.
And you call me?
Well, I needed help. I don't really want to leave, if they're the bad ones.
I can do absolutely nothing. I was on a date.
Well, maybe we can try and put our heads together and find who we can actually summon to sort this out mind-wise. I don't know.
Or we could just, subdue them and ask? I don't know.
They are chained at the moment with huge-ass chains. Don't know if I can do better than that. That one is pure mithril, so Lord knows what happens when that one wakes up.
Which is which?
I think the mithril one is Leo and the other one is Cal, but I'm not sure.
All right.
Question for DM, which one was what?
Excuse me, would you rephrase the question?
Which body got which soul?
You're the marble body got Cal's soul, and the mithril body got Leopold's soul.
Yeah. Did my learning about automaton lore, did I reveal what kind of types they are? Are they both warrior types? Or
These one of them seems to have been the mithril one very light, almost hollow. Made for speed. It seems to have been made for being a scout type.
Okay, that's a hunter.
The marble one, you're uncertain of whether that's made to be a warrior type or a mage type, actually, but it's very solid, almost 8.5 feet tall, and built like a marble shithouse.
I am not certain I can hold them in case they turn out to be bad. Just so you know.
All right. We should have the full group here then. Once we try to talk
Yes.
to them. How long do you think they're knocked out? Are they going to wake up at any moment? I don't know.
Any moment, I don't know. They're probably being jolted by the whole "let's be in a body" experience, so they might be unconscious for a while. Could be years. Could be 2 seconds.
So what? We're just going to stand here and hope it happens?
No, I think we should find someone that can actually investigate their minds while they're out cold.
Who should be able to do such a thing?
I have
I
no
thought
idea.
that
Maybe
I
somebody
could, but
with
I can't.
magic that can kind of sense evil or good or something. You know,
Perhaps
I don't know.
Magnus.
Possibly.
He's very good, I think.
Clerical or paladin sounds like a good idea at the moment. Saints would be even better.
Or someone of the occult.
Yes.
Perhaps send a message to the church. Maybe they could send someone to investigate.
Yes. I did ask for a couple of more runners from my men of clay.
Yes, sir.
2 messages, 2 directions. We need to send word to the church. I think the highest ranking that we know would be the nun in charge of the orphanage, wouldn't it? I don't think we know anybody else in the church. She's
The
very well versed.
Mother Superior. Well,
Yeah.
yes, we can get her.
Ask her for advice on how to determine whether souls that have recently been captured that may have been under influence of our enemies of the city that have now been put into 2 automatons are still under influence or actually become somewhat better, good, evil. Get her here if she wants to come.
Very well. I'll go talk to her immediately.
The other messenger. Would you mind seeing if you can find somebody in the institute, the school, the magic school, that knows lore and legends and possibly can shed some light on the automatons?
I'll definitely do my best, sir.
Thank you. I think that's about all I can do at the moment. I don't know anybody other magic users, clerics, and such.
Might be worthwhile to send a runner to the Grandmaster as well.
Very
He's
well.
probably connected on individuals who may be useful to our particular endeavor.
Yes. I stop the second runner and says, go inform the Grand Master as well.
Very well, sir. Are you talking about Grandmaster Modor or?
No, I'm talking about the Grandmaster of the Knights of the Ravensbridge.
Oh, yes, sir. He
You
runs
might
off.
actually know somebody that could help determine whether they are still under influence or whether they are back to their good old selves.
Right.
Now, who's not here? And how do we get them here?
I don't know. I'm
Well,
taking my
Iota's likely in
bottle.
his workshop.
Yeah, we need him definitely. We need to have some kind of flare to fire up. Good lord. I think I've exhausted my available Men of Clay messengers.
You have, but I mean, there's plenty of street kids willing to run a message for a copper.
Then we find one of those, asking one of them to go and tell Iori a message. Cal and Leo have returned. Need counseling in tower.
Pip pip, sir.
Good lord.
Payment up front.
He gets 1 copper now.
Yeah, he sprints off with a speed that would make some of the men of clay feel envious.
Future recruit.
Yeah. Minutes later, Iodi's standing in the shop when a young ruffian barges in, almost tearing the bell off of the door. Are you Iodi?
Yes.
Well, there's a big terracotta bloke looking for you. He said something about the captain and Lucy. The captain and Lucy have returned in new bodies. Yes, that's what it was. He also said you'd give me a copper.
Iodi will give you a silver, but you did not find him.
Very well, sir. We've got ourselves an accord. He winks at Iodi and saunters out.
I go back to what I was doing.
Right.
Perfect.
Meanwhile, while you're waiting, Mador comes walking up.
Hello, Mador.
Yes, I have a message from Mother Superior.
Oh, thank you.
See if they try to kill you when they wake up.
Wonderful wonderful advice.
It makes sense.
Yep. I was hoping for something more practical, like hag influence or something. I don't know.
I mean, if we give it a day, I could just like transform them into a sheep or something, and we could just let them be for the rest of their lives.
I'll let you know if that's a future option, but for now, no.
Or a frog, maybe a mouse, and then I can eat them.
Thank you, but no.
And as you're discussing it, you hear that sounds like a tumbler filled with rocks as you hear a couple of coughs from the marble statue. And it groans and opens its eyes.
Okay, I walk over and lean over.
I pull my gun and keep your back.
Hello? Cal?
Too close.
How are you feeling?
Like run over by a herd of, I don't know.
What's the last thing you remember?
Fighting you.
Fighting me in... Where?
Where are we now?
We're in the ghost tower.
Right. And Ravensbridge.
Indeed. So you remember everything that happened between your death and that moment?
reminding her of her death. Her face is a grimace. I'd
You're s-
rather forget.
I can understand that. We are cautious at the moment a little bit about what happened because, well, this is kind of new. The last time you tried to kill us.
I know. And she avoids looking at him.
Well, I don't know what you experienced while I was holding your soul, but we are curious to know whether you still feel influenced by the hags or their masters, the three that you were speaking of at that time.
It wasn't hags. I still hate them. Could you get this off me, please?
In a moment, I would like to know just one more thing. Are you experiencing any kind of urge to try and kill anybody here at the moment?
No.
You're not gonna just take her word for it, are you?
First of all, I want to ask Shogi whether I have any way of trying to determine this. I mean, it's a marble statue. It's not like you can see whether somebody's trying to lie. So what the frick?
Well, you're just gonna have to use your best judgment, don't you? Listen to the Mother Superior's advice and follow the song in your heart.
I look over to the captain, Marisol.
Yeah.
Kind of give a shrug. We won't know until we actually.
Give her a chance to attack us.
Mm-hmm.
I look around. There's nobody here that except us that can be harmed, right?
Mm-hmm.
I lift my I lift my rifle again and aim. I will shoot you if you try anything. And go ahead.
Can I understand this? We loved you before your death. What you did after has us concerned. We're wondering if this is a second chance and whether you will actually be. Oh, what you're gonna be now. I look at. Yeah.
I don't know what I am, but I know who I am. And that's Cal.
I start unwrapping the chains and asking another question while I'm doing it. So, what do you think that your new existence will be aimed towards? Are you going to try and stay with us and fight our fight, or do you want something else in this life after life?
She looks over to Marisol. Could you fulfill the promise?
I haven't met him yet. But I'm still holding on to the axe, or rather Madoris. We're still looking.
Well, my goal never really changed. I have to find him, but she looks to the others. There are some things I remember that could help you. I think, there were two giants that when I was still that other, I don't want to say me, I sent them to get something from a temple, de la Moisson, part of a god's cocoon.
Do you know which god or?
No. And the one that controlled me, 3-in-1. What do you know about them?
Well, not a whole lot. We seem to have angered them quite severely, and they seem to be targeting us in different ways at different times. We have no real names to our opposition. We think we've seen them. Was that one on the throne flying around? Was that one of them?
That wasn't one of them. The 3-in-1. They have a vampire as a bodyguard. I could hear her say the name Tasha. Apparently the leader of all the undead.
Tasha? That's a weird name for an undead.
And as she tries to get up, still not used to her new body, she falls back down and goes unconscious.
Well,
Oh boy.
I think they're not going to try to kill us, but they might be very confused.
Yep.
I don't trust it. She could be a spy.
Do you trust anyone, darling?
I trust Zara.
It's just because I haven't found a tailor to make you into a nice hat.
No, I trust you because I know your intentions. Maybe Yodi a little bit. He just wants to eat me.
See. I think you can take off the chains on Leo as well and make them as comfortable as we can. This is gonna take some time.
Very well. I remove the chains and keep them safe for another time.
Yep. As the chains are removed, he almost headbutts you as he sets up and goes,
Leo?
Ja. Vad? Marisol? Preacher? Am I? Why do I have this strange metallic taste in my mouth?
Welcome, new brother. I basically show with a hand on his body, basically saying, "Oh, you have a new one."
Leo squints rather a lot as if he's trying to get used to his eyes. He goes, Brozov? What the? Oh no.
Yes.
I.
Do you remember anything that happened after your death? Do you remember fighting us? Do you remember me capturing your soul?
Mir ist kalt. So kalt. He kind of shivers there. Yeah, I think so. I remember a blast of intense cold and then drifting like fiery ashes. And then it is a little vague. And there was a battle and shooting at something. I think it was you. But, and
Well,
then
more than
darkness.
once.
Something influenced you after your death and sent you after us.
We do not hold you responsible for that.
Thank you for that. It is good to see you both again. And he swings his arms a little clumsily. You're not quite sure if he's trying to hug Marisol or crush her.
I jump out of the way.
Yeah, I probably try and grab at least one arm.
Easy now. They are a bit longer than you're used to, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, I do not feel as steady as I did. I think I will kneel down now. And he kind of falls to his knees.
For the moment, please don't try and move or touch or hold anything until you learn your strength, because, brother, you have a new body. Takes a while to get used to.
You are telling me.
Yes, I am.
This is very strange. I remember a few things. Nothing seems solid. It is like it all. My head seems filled with fire. I do not know why.
Well, could be many different reasons. Do you remember anything about the 3 in 1?
Just 3 in 1? No, I do not think so. I remember a terrible voice whispering to me that I was safe and warm, and I do not know. It escapes me. And then there was the terrible voice laid upon each other, telling me to do things. Things I did not want to do. I could not refuse. I do not know why. It is also vague. There is one thing, something recent that I remember. What was it?
Take your time.
There was a knight? No, a general Yeah, a general. A grave knight general. Lord Autumn. I sent him to do something. But give me here a moment. It was a shot. The shot of a soul of a god. My God. Oh, wer was it? Was was it? No, I cannot remember where it was. You must stop it. Whatever it is for a terrible purpose.
Do you know nothing of where that was?
Can I cast Modify Memory and enhance that memory for him?
It's fun, so I'm going to say yes.
If he wants to try to not be affected, he has to do a will save.
No, my friend, no. You wish to help? Go ahead.
So yeah, that memory's enhanced.
Danke. A place called La Rochette. Yeah, that was it.
Well, this is a hard one. When was that before your capture by me? If you can remember time at all?
I will. He just crashes out backwards.
Well, now.
Okay.
Memory might have been a little bit too much.
Well, now.
Well, yeah. So, this
I may
sounds
have
interesting.
to. Yes, I may have to correct the men of clay into men of mithril and men of or women of marble.
Clay
Humor.
seems easier to say.
Yes.
Especially
Humor.
since most of the members of the Men of Clay are
Clay?
flesh and bone.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Oh, wow.
Well, that was exciting. It's not every day your friends, that died and then were forcibly brought back to attempt to kill you, and then you killed them, get to have new bodies.
And tell you shit that seems very important.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to take a swig directly from the bottle because I've given up finding a glass.
Anyways, we see if there's anyone interested in buying that information, and then we continue along our merry way.
I could always try to, stone the flesh and turn them back into fleshy beings.
That's not going to work. First
How
off,
do
one
you
of them's
know?
mithril. That's not a stone.
Well, the other's stone.
Partially. Preacher's not entirely clay.
Yeah, there's a couple of things that are kind of different, so I doubt that's going to work.
It's like turning just your skin into another material, but leaving your fleshy bits underneath is whatever they're supposed to be. I don't think it would.
I don't think that would be nice.
Yeah. Nice is not nice is a good way to phrase that.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. First of all, we need to find out what we're gonna do from here. Then,
Yeah.
what if we start by finding out what we can about the places they mentioned?
Yes. Absolutely. But also, I'm not going to leave the tower until I'm satisfied they're not going to wake up and go on a rampage.
I don't
They
think
probably
they're
are.
gonna go on a rampage.
Me, I don't think so either. But I'm going to stay here for at least a little bit. Anyway. Yes, we need to know more about those places.
Well, I can pay a visit to the castle library and see what I can find.
Yes.
I can talk to the other captains and see if they know anything.
Also, Sarah, good work on finding out the smuggling ring, and that information. I would like to know as much as possible if this is one person operation or if this is something the entire effing guild is mixed in. Because smuggling automaton bodies, it's not a
Sorry,
good
that's
thing.
under investigation. I can't reveal it.
Mm-hmm. Kind of important to.
Yes, quite, and I'm being paid quite well for it.
Mhm.
Anyways, see you later. Make sure that when you start asking about those locations, you don't reveal too much, Marisol. It could be lucrative information.
Yeah.
And as Sarah's about to leave, there's a knock on the door. There's a young man standing there with a large box. Is this the abode of? And he picks up a note. Estrella Brightfire, the Ember of Morning, Lady of the Scorching Wastes, Daughter of the Sun, Bringer of the Fire Lord's Justice, Envoy of the Lord of Dawn.
Yes.
Well, there's a
Although
package
I
here
think some
for her.
titles were left out.
Oh, I'm sorry, milady. This was all I got from the Zeppelin. Could you sign for these, please?
Uzara will sign for it.
Yeah. He bows and runs off again.
Who was it?
Does it say who it's from on it at all?
It doesn't. There's just the magic. It looks like a magical sigil of just a fiery eye.
Well, if I had to have any suspicions on who has fiery eyes in this world, it didn't come from me.
Right.
So it's a
So-
gift from her husband. I'm gonna make sure that she gets it.
Yeah, last time I saw her and Magnus, they were down at one of the cushy inns in the city center. I do not know this because I spent 4 days there last week at all.
Well, now. Preacher goes and fetches a writing desk and sits himself down right outside of this room and starts writing stuff about the Manor Clay and tries to think of how to safeguard these two. Meanwhile, he waits for the map information on those places.
And he sees Chastity kind of poking her head in with a grin, like, so?
Well done. But
Not
Please-
well done.
please make sure that you actually try and understand the situation before you start blasting people next time. That might not be the best solution. You were correct in this case that they were actually not nice people, but a little bit more restraint, please.
You can see her trying to kind of keep her giddiness down, but she ends up picking up Edamir and just twirling around, holding her out in his arms and going like, "You hear that, Edamir? I'm going to be a detective!" And she hugs him, and
Oh god.
after spinning for 20, 30 turns, just puts him in Marisol's arms and runs up to get some lunch.
You okay there, little one? I'm gonna put you on the table.
I need to have a talk with her.
I just
Several
flop
talks.
down.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you in my lap again and cuddle you until you feel better.
And she needs either training from Bruno's people or from the city investigative squad. This
Yeah.
halfway in
both?
between the two methods ain't gonna play out properly.
No, I totally agree with that. But
I would suggest Bruno. He's very skilled.
question is if that is actually what she wants to do in the long run, because she's kind of flitting between different things at the moment. She wants to do this, then the next day wants to do something else.
She has all eternity. What's one job for a couple of 100 years?
That is also true. I would like her to reach a couple of 100 years before she actually gets this, well, broken down because she's done something that cannot be explained or resolved.
Fan the flames of passion and find her a proper teacher. It's the best you can do.
How many kids have you raised?
I don't want to talk about that. And Zara walks off.
Right. So, Sora's headed to deliver the package, I assume.
Yes.
Well, you do find Estrella and Magnus at their new favorite place, Das unglaublich leckere Schweinekotelett.
Before I go in, I'm going to disguise myself as a messenger.
Right. Looks like Modor wants to say something as well. So,
Yeah, I'm going to head over to the Grandmaster and check their records on these places too.
gotcha. We'll get to that scene. Yeah. So yes, they're sitting at the unglaublich leckere Schweinekotelett, sharing a bottle of wine and a schnitzel, it seems.
So, the whole idea about, the kissing thing is to let your feelings for that person that show in the embrace. Yeah. So, that little stiffness, yeah, we've really got to work on that.
Usually, when someone came so close to me, it was to try to kill me, or I tried to kill him, so excuse me.
I know. It's a new thing for you. All this is. We just, step by step. That one you did earlier, I could see it felt a little strange, but it was very nice. Try it again, you'll get there. I think there's someone that wants us. Just came in.
Pardon me, Lord, Lady. Are you Estrella Brightfire, the Ember of
No,
Morning,
I'm
Lady
not.
of the Scorching
I'm
Waste,
Estrella.
Watcher of the Sun, Bringer of the Flame, Fire Lord's Justice, Envoy of the Dawn?
You got one part of that right. One. And that is Estrella. What is it?
Ma'am, I have a gift for you. It just arrived this morning by Zeppelin.
I would say who was it, but from that title, I think we have an idea.
Yeah, not sure I should open it here. We better get back to the tower.
Well, just a moment. No. Never mind. I thought you looked familiar, but must just be something.
Yep.
And if you want to continue to be a messenger, you better learn to read the room.
Ma'am, I was paid on certain amounts of They were very convincing.
Don't worry, I don't kill the messenger any longer. The last word she is just like muttering.
I don't know. This bottle of wine was great, and that schnitzel was a damn good idea. Well, you've delivered your message. I suppose commendably, and he tosses him a silver coin.
Just gonna snatch the coin with a adroit deftness. Thank you for your tip. Please enjoy your delivery service, and if you have any further requirements, please feel free to reach out. Goodbye.
Reach out to whom?
She's already leaving.
Not getting much business if you don't give your name, Estrella says, and grabs whatever she gave her.
It's a large box, and underneath it, bound by some pretty flimsy, thin rope, is a smaller box. The Martidea comes up, and of course, noble lady, if you would like to move to the private room, it will be no extra cost.
No.
Only the best for the envoy of the Lord of Dawn. You will, of course, not pay for your meal.
What do you know about the Lord of Dawn?
Well, it's the Lord of Dawn, isn't it? It must be shown proper respect. Please, we have a private room if you would wish to see your package and get away from this riffraff. And he looks at the other patrons. Should I escort this hedge knight out, or would you like him to accompany you?
We're together, if you don't mind.
I'd very much like that private room, I think. And he's staying, and she grabs Magnus by the arm.
Yeah, he leads you into a much nicer back room. Obviously made for just a small group of people. Quite private. And a much more expensive bottle of wine is brought in.
All right, leave us.
Of course, milady, Duchess, Princess of the Dawn Lord. Don't burn me. And closes the door.
He knows more about your husband than I do.
Apparently so. We will have to inquire further, but let's first have a look what that is. I hope it just doesn't teleport me back again. And she's checking it for traps.
Can't find any.
I can't even remember everything that he called me with the titles. Do you know how strange that is?
Passingly, I suppose. Considering people keep calling me Hedge Knight instead of just Sir. Even that's strange enough. Go on then. You crack her open and I'll open this very expensive vintage wine. That was damn nice of him.
I mean, at least something good out of all of that. But I don't like being treated like a lady. Don't you dare start it, alright?
Of course not, ma'am. Go on.
For a moment, she looked like she wanted to strangle him before she turns to the box and opens it.
Well, there's a letter lying on top of it. I assume she's going to read it.
Yep.
As he's opening the wine, Magnus speaks from behind her. Estrella, just one thing to remember. You might not want to be a lady, but you're my lady. Just a thought.
As she opens the letter, she can hear the voice of the Dawn Lord. Dearest Estrella, I do appreciate you being out in the world representing me and doing the bidding of my will. However, I cannot have you walking around like a cheap 10 platinum courtesan. So, in this box I have added a dress fitting of your station for when you take your fling out to eat. In the box below beneath it is a clothing fitting of his station as well. Sincerely yours and with love, your devoted husband.
Well, good news or bad news first?
Well, first, he hands over a glass of the wine. Here you go, get that down, you look like you need it. Let's have the bad news first. It's always best.
Well, apparently whatever we're doing, he sees it as if we're doing his bidding.
Oh, fabulous. I just love doing things according to a bloody slave lord of Zebs. Oh, well. Well, at least he knows. He can't be doing the jealous husband act, so. What else have we got?
What else? He still is sure that you're just a fling. I assure you you're not. And I don't even know if there's actually any good things. But he sent us both clothes appropriate to our, well, stand or something. Not just for me, but for you as well when we go out dining.
Appropriate for me. This ought to be good.
And she's pushing the box over to him.
Well, is she checking the large box or is she just giving
Yep.
everything to him? Well, in the large box, there's a fantastically beautiful formal ball gown that looks like it's made from flowing ash. This is the gown that would make queens envious. Long sleeves, quite a bit of cleavage shown, but just it weighs absolutely nothing, but holds its shape as she lifts it up.
Okay, this is actually nice.
Nice! Magnus whistles. That, yeah, aye. Yeah, you should try that on later when we're alone. Right. Is there anything else with it? Shoes and bag, you know.
All of it. And the full Monty. The full outfit. Full Monty would not be much of an outfit.
Well, full set.
Chings. I think something to actually appreciate your husband for. Woof. Right. Let's see what he sent me.
This one's my fault.
And starts opening the other box.
Stumbled on this magic item and sent it to Shoggoth.
It's a jester's outfit with long curly toes on the shoes and a rattle shaped like a baboon's behind.
Uh-huh.
Should have expected that.
Aye. He wasn't exactly complimentary about me last time. Was it he said buffoon? Yeah.
Well, you've been promoted from buffoon to fling, so I guess that is an improvement.
Oh, I just love having your husband regard me as a jester. Fabulous. Well, I suppose I can find somewhere in the bottom of the travel chest for it.
Don't worry, we will find you an outfit that is better than this.
Better than this? Estrella, dearest. a pair of golden briefs, some sandals, and a wee bottle of oil for the chest. That would have been better than this. Along with a nice pair of golden straps to go along the chest, you know.
True. Okay, I don't plan to wear this anytime soon. But we will make sure to find you a matching outfit. I'm not sure where to find one, but I guess Marisol could help us.
It's going to be a tall order. The look of that outfit, I'm not sure we got enough gold to cover it. King's tail or something like that.
She puts the dress and everything back in the box. Well, I'm sure there is something symbolic behind this dress, aside from him claiming to be my husband. So yeah, this will stay in here and back at the tower.
Aye. It's no casual dinner dress, that one. I'll have to find a special occasion to wear it, but I say I like your husband's taste, at least in your clothing anyway. I've upgraded him from scumbag, complete scumbag, to no so bad, sometimes, maybe, occasionally.
Yeah, and I feel like, Bruno promised me that the refugees are being well taken care of, so maybe I should focus on finding out more about that husband of mine, because people here know about him more than I do, and I am from Zeeps.
Aye, well, Zeebs obviously has an information network over here, but that kind of goes along with the repeated invasion attempts.
True, we should definitely. I think I know who I will have check on that innkeep or this restaurant, the chef here.
Your shadowy friend Bruno.
For once him, or I could do it myself. And I don't want my skills to get rusty.
Well, as long as you're careful. I'm not exactly sneaky enough to keep up with you, so I think I'll just have to wait while you do it.
Yeah.
Door slams open, and the Matadea comes in again with, for the lord and lady, some private entertainment for you in a more intimate setting. And in walks a man with a violin and two people with tubas.
Oh God. Next it'll be a bagpipe.
And on that note, we got to take a 10-15 minute break because I got to get some tea for this cough. We will be back shortly.
There you go.
There we are. We are back, everybody. Tea has been made. Breaks have been taken. And now we will move over to Mador, heading to talk to the Grandmaster. In this case, it's actually meeting you on top of one of the towers, looking out over the miles and miles, as far as the eye can see, really, of marsh around the Raven's Bridge. Nice warm ale to take the worst sting of the late summer wind. That's as high as you guys are, actually pretty chilly.
Grandmaster.
Grandmaster, I assume, as much as I've enjoyed our dinners this last month, you have a look about you that says this is not just a social call.
I have a few names I'd like to get your ideas on.
Fire away.
Make a long story short, Cal and Leo are back now.
The undead generals. Are they
They are in automatrons.
evil automatons? Or,
Well, they didn't try to kill us, so I guess not evil.
well, according to the Mother Superior, that's a good test.
Yeah, that's what Mother Superior told me to tell him, and I did. Cal mentioned something about saying two giants toward the Temple della Moison.
Ah, the Grand Temple de la Maison, yeah. Indeed, it's in Ovilar, to the south of here. Yeah. A repository of knowledge, magical artifacts that haven't been identified and are difficult to identify. And also, I believe, where the Seekers of Aran gather items and other things that should not be, well, out and about.
Because of what? I don't think I ever recall that group.
Between the two of us, of course, it's a simple temple of Aran. There's a lot of waterways in Ovilar and Gramont to the east, Menzignac to the west. Aran, god of the seas, but also god of hidden knowledge. His seekers are, they call themselves a priesthood, but they're mostly wizards and sorcerers, other seekers of knowledge that, damn this wind, that have dedicated their lives to unlocking, finding secrets, any secret, really. The innkeeper's favorite lunch, or where the weapon of a fallen god is buried. They will show interest in both. Seek out all that knowledge. There are rumors that the Seekers also act as Aran's Inquisition, hiding items that should not be shown or cannot be out in the world without disrupting the balance of nations, and prosecuting and killing those who focus on destroying knowledge.
So you tell me there's a satch there of a lot of powerful forbidden magical items?
Rumor says so.
Rumor.
Between the two of us, of course, this information is best not to be shared to too many, but the Knights of Raven's Bridge, we have an agreement with the Grand Temple that should they come under attack, we will come to their defense, although at the moment we are stretched. As it is just defending Ravensbridge, we would not be able to go anywhere for the foreseeable future until we have rebuilt our own forces. I would assume they have equal contracts and deals with other groups of knights in the surrounding counties and marches, baronies, but I do not know. They love their secrets, maybe a bit much. They want you to tell everything, but they will not tell you much yourself.
So this info you give me should probably not be passed on to anybody at the moment.
It depends. Currently, I know there will be a council this evening, where the captains will be called in. The Viscount, the Black Viscount, will be giving some new orders to both the mercenaries and the gathered armies. Do not. I'm not at liberty to share much of it. I know your company will be given some choices of mission, but you are still under contract, as far as I understand. It could be that checking up on the Grand Temple will be mentioned in with these missions, but I cannot guarantee it. The Black Viscount might be an asshole, but he has a fantastic mind for tactics and an
Very well.
for strategy.
I will hold that knowledge that I have until I deem it set to bring it forth.
Yes. Be aware the Black Viscount expects spies in Ravensbridge still, even though the Emperor, the king's own agents are in Ravensbridge chasing down the mortal spies of the enemy. Well, who knows what they've left here that we cannot see or that can easily slip away even from magical. Or he's given out 7 different sets of orders so far to myself and the other formal knights and military commanders of the kingdom, and the mercenaries I don't think will hear anything until at the 8th bell this evening.
Okay, that's good to know. Have you ever heard the name Lord Atton?
Indeed. He was Grand Master of the Order of the Golden Wyvern, in fact. Some 275 years ago, I believe. Give or take 10 years. It's been a long time since I had to read up on the histories of knightly orders. But
Especially the knightly order that has kind of disappeared, only to be brought up forth recently.
indeed, although when I was young and studying to become a knight, still a squire, I spent many long nights reading the genealogies and heraldries and histories of the knightly orders. That's the only reason I even remember who his was probably because the Golden Wyvern has been at the front of my mind a lot lately.
That was nothing to do with my doing, I hope.
Well, I will admit I do consider you not only a colleague but also a friend. I've been thinking about how to help your order, and you especially. If it is a wish for you, we could take in these kids for their period as a squire, and then deliver them to you for their training as knights when their period as squires is out. It would be 5, maybe even 6 years for most of them. 4 for the oldest. So it gives you quite a while to fulfill your obligations with your companions before the first batch of squires are even ready to be trained.
And find a place where I can set up my order.
Indeed, although I fear many castles will stand empty before this is over. The scouts are reporting gatherings of undead again in several parts and several places in Golden Glens. None here in Nosan, luckily, yet, but in almost all of our all of the neighboring domains and dimensions, we know of gathering forces of undead. What their goal is and what their targets are, we are not yet aware of.
And the last one I have, it's Rochelet, not knowing the language.
Do you mean La Rochette?
La Rochette.
Ah, yes. Capital of Gamon. It would be a rather short journey if it was not for the Valley of Gnashing Teeth between us and them. Gamon, the county to our east, mostly marsh, even more so than Ravensbridge itself, and a huge, enormous lake. You could call it an inland sea, I believe, with a fair amount of certainty. La Rochette is the stronghold up in the mountains. They stood against the demonic incursion coming from the old Grand Duchy when it came down through the pass, although many of their fortresses were destroyed. Easiest way of going there from Ravensbridge would be traveling to Ovila and probably taking a riverboat. Fastest way, of course, would be through the Valley of Gnashing Teeth, but that is also considered by any sane man or woman to be fastest way to death. Already, our forces, what little we have that can leave Ravensbridge, are engaging waves of orcs leaving the valley, almost frenzied. If I did not know the orc better, I would believe they were running from something, but I have never seen orcs leave a fight. I would not believe them to be doing so now.
So they're running literally scared, is what you're saying.
I mean, the orc, he's strong, fierce. They are a warrior culture, especially the ones in the valley, who are far more barbaric and uncultured than the orcs living among us here in Ravensbridge. But yes, I believe they are actually running from something. Cannot imagine what would make them run. We've had entire crusades with all of the domains of Goldinglands, tens of thousands of knights and men-at-arms going into the valley several times in the last centuries to try to clear it out of orcs, but it's been more or less impossible. The terrain does not favor mounted knights or heavy armor at all. They are untold numbers. Anything that could make them run scared, I hope it stays there.
Me too. I don't think that's. I think you gave me all the information I need to know. We'll probably hear the captain will probably hear more tonight at the gathering.
I believe so. All the senior staff will be invited, so I assume your company will be there. It will be held in the Marques's ballroom. There will be refreshments, but you should eat before you come. It's those tiny ones that don't fill you up.
Thanks for that info. I'm sure whoever makes our meals in the tower, which we don't know who, which is probably the spirits, will see to that we're fed.
Yeah. Give willing, we shall eat well. Yeah. I need to tell you also about, as he starts talking, you can see flashes of light from far out in the marshes. And he starts taking notes. I am sorry, my friend, I will have to postpone the rest of this conversation.
What's going on out there?
One of my patrols of squires and knights has found more orcs. I will need to organize a counterattack before they get to the hamlets around the pillars of Ravensbridge proper. Do not worry yourself about it. It is routine, but it still needs to be done.
Very well. I'll hopefully we'll get a chance to have that discussion you want with me without any interruptions. But The way things are, I don't see that in the near future.
Indeed. Take this, he says. Hands you an amulet. I will explain what it means later.
Oh,
Gets up and starts sending orders out with runners.
I'll lead you to your job, Grandmaster.
I will see you tonight at the meeting.
I will see you then.
And at Iodi's
I
shop.
leave.
Yep, at Iodi's shop, the bell goes ding-a-ling-a-ling.
I go answer the door.
Yeah. Somebody's entered again. So, a halfling this time with almost iridescent green hair and piercing green eyes. Iodi can feel an oppressive, terrifying aura of power from it.
Is there something Iodi can do for you?
There you are, hatchling. Tell me, have you found me a trinket yet?
Iodi has found many trinkets. He is not sure which one you would prefer.
Well, descendant of mine, please do tell which trinkets you feel are worthy of my attention. I would hate to have to add your hide to the pages of the book.
No, Iodi would not like to be a book. This is not necessary. Iodi has found many things from the hags that we have recently killed. Iodi has found a mirror in the local inn. Iodi has found many things I do not know.
Many things, many small trinkets. Is this how you repay me for sharing my power with you? Okay. The dragon grows until about ogre size. It looks down at Iodi, picks up magical items around the shop. You want to call yourself a dragon? Well, I will let this small slight go this once. But you will do a thing for me. And if you do this thing for me, well, I will share with you some more knowledge to help you on your quest to become an even greater dragon. Do we have an agreement, hatchling?
Iodi will do anything that you ask, sir.
Very well. There is a rival of mine. Well, he calls himself a rival. He is an insect. But he has issued challenges. He claims that the lands of Garmont are now his. And since he can fly from Garmont here to here in just a few hours, Raven's Wedge and the marshes around it are also his. Ridiculous claim, of course. I do not have the time or the patience to go slay a hatchling barely greater than yourself. He calls himself Gorgorger in the human tongue. The Grand Terror of Gramont. You, of course, will bring me his head. And his heart. The head I will keep. The heart, however, I shall use to instill in you some of its power.
And where will Iodi find this dragon?
Well, he is of the stupid, coarse, uncultured, black-scaled variety, so from Mount's mostly marsh and swamp, he'll be wallowing in filth there somewhere. Probably we're trying to understand how a human's toy works. The black dragons. Of course it had to be a black dragon that moved in my vicinity. Stupid enough to challenge me. Not grand enough to bother go fight.
I will do as you have asked me, Lord.
He'll have amassed a hoard, of course, some sort of acid-resistant trinkets, maybe some coins. Half a cow, what do I know? It is yours to keep. You need a proper hoard. This is a good start for being your size, but I have plans for you, my descendant, and at some point you will need a proper mountain of gold to rest on. Or silver, whatever is your preference. I don't judge. Just don't go for bloated pig's carcasses like those black dragons like to do. It's not just unsanitary, it is beneath us. If you go for carcasses, go for at least something properly dangerous.
Iodi has no intention of laying on dead bodies. I do not do this.
Very well. In that case, he looks at the cursed dagger. Oh, this is a nice piece. What is your plan with this?
Iodi has been attempting to break the curse upon this dagger, but it has foiled him.
Once you bring me the head of the Black Dragon, I will bring you a book of curse breaking that I took from the Seekers of Aran a couple of centuries ago. It should help you much. It's elementary knowledge for, well, one such as yourself, but I believe it will do you much good.
I will do as you have asked me, master.
Excellent, my apprentice. Do not fail me. And then he turns around and walks out. Now again in the guise of a cheerful hobbit.
Iodi slumps into a chair, obviously sweating, and he's like, "A dragon? I must kill a dragon? Oh, Lord. How will I not become a book at this rate?" And I'm gonna go look for Marisol. I hope she's at a date.
Yeah, doesn't take you long to find Marisol. You can see she's sitting at an inn, having just been served a late lunch, and a waiter's pouring wine into her glass as she's sitting with Walter.
Iodi runs up and he pulls a chair from a neighboring table, and he sits down and he grabs her glass of wine. "Marisol, we must talk."
Of course we do.
And he drinks the glass of wine. "We have many things we must do. Iodi has a very important task that we must accomplish."
I see. Can this wait?
"Do you wish Iodi to be made into a book?"
No, absolutely not.
"It must not wait then. We must go slay a dragon."
You and I cannot slay a dragon alone. We need the rest of the guys.
"That is why you must go get the guys. I am here to tell you we must go slay a dragon."
But I have a meeting with the Viscountess in 5 hours.
This is way more important than that.
If we are in breach of contract, we can be hanged.
I will eat the contract. We will not worry about this.
Do we even know where this dragon is?
It is in the swamp. Easy.
Are you aware how big the swamp is?
Are you aware how big a dragon is?
Fair.
It is easy. We go to the swamp, we find the dragon, we take his head. I do not get eaten and made into a book. This is very simple.
The swamp is several kilometers every directions from here. And it's poisonous.
It's trivial. Small things to worry about. In the, Iodi does not want to be made into a book. I do not want to be eaten by a dragon.
And I don't want you to be eaten by a dragon.
Well, then we must go. We must get our friends. What are we doing here?
You need to find out how we can survive walking into the bog before we can go.
This magic, healing, poison. This is all nothing. No problem.
Walter looks up like, you're talking about a dragon you need to kill that's in a swamp? Is it a large black one?
That is the one, Walter, yes.
Oh, well then I have good news for you. It's not in this swamp that's poisonous. It's in Gramont, which has weeks and weeks of travel in every direction of swamp. Equally poisonous as this one.
Perfect. This is what I know. See, Walter, you are very useful.
And how far away is this?
Gramont, it's about 3 to 5 weeks of travel, give or take, to the east of Rimsbridge.
All right, but then we'll have to make sure we are ready to go for a caravan, and we cannot leave now. You need to make the preparations.
Preparations? Marisol, we must go. We must find the friends. We must leave. We have much to do.
We have plenty to do, and we need to prepare. We cannot leave right now.
I do not like this. I do not like this plan. But I will sit here and smooch with Walter. You will go find the friends, yes?
No, I will sit here and smooch with Walter. You will go prepare for our trip and find out what you can about making us not die from the poisonous bog.
I have never died in a poisonous bog. This will be fine. I don't know why you are so worried.
I am more squishy than you.
Yes, you
Besides,
are made of
Bill will
soft,
die.
fleshy bits. This is true.
And Bill will die too.
Bill, he is not coming. We must keep
He's
him safe.
definitely coming. I'm not traveling 5 weeks without a horse.
You know, Marisol. Alright, Iodi will begin to plan. I expect you to be ready when it is time for us to leave.
That sounds like a much better idea.
Yes. And he jumps up and he walks off, leaving the chair and everything there.
Could I have another glass, please?
Walter twirls his fingers and another glass that's invisible, was invisible, shows up. So, you were saying?
Well, I will probably be leaving soon. That this is just how things are. And I was wondering where you see this going. Do you want this to continue, or was this just a wonderful month or so here and we'll part as friends with good memories, or?
Well, of course I wanted to continue, but of course I wanted to continue. There shouldn't be a but there is. With our lifestyles, one of us will end up dying probably sooner or later. It would be madness to commit to each other against almost impossible odds, waiting and longing to see each other again in between terrible travels to horrible places filled with gruesome beings trying to dismember us and eat our brains and souls. So, seeing as we're the type of people to take that sort of odds, I see no reason why we should not commit, as you say, to something more stable.
I was hoping you would say that.
Of course, first of all, we must get through the greatest challenge, which is getting to talk together for more than 5 minutes before we are interrupted. Yes, Gunther, what is it? It's like, sir, there's a captain's meeting, and they've moved it up. It's in 1.5 bells. Captain Marisol, you should probably know as well.
Thank you, Günther.
He's got the good graces to look ashamed before he goes.
Well, mine doesn't, so, well, yours are better trained than mine. So 1.5 bell then.
Well, give it half a bell. I must go prepare the staff before we go to this planning meeting. From what I'm hearing, us mercenaries will be given some objectives. We had thought we'd stay in the city. It's what was communicated to us up until this morning, when it seems we are being sent elsewhere, unless we wish to breach our contract, which would not only be exceedingly expensive, but also slightly, hangable.
Just like I told Master Yodi.
However, at least I get another half an hour with you before, if you'll excuse my assumption, all hell breaks loose again.
Sounds pretty much what is expected at this time, yeah.
Well, it's best we enjoy our time then.
And get some food, because I haven't been eating today.
Indeed. The first course is already being served. It's a clam bisque, I believe.
Well, if Krius is willing, we'll meet again.
You've got one of those champions of Shionkaisi with you. If he can't keep you safe, well, the gods never wanted us to grow old and useless together with lots of screaming children.
That sounds like something to look forward to.
On that note, off to Zara. You're out reading. What kind of info are you looking for?
I am looking on what I can find about Temple de la Maison and Lord Autun.
Right. So what check do you feel is relevant to roll here?
Well, being as I am a thaumaturge who has the ability to apply diverse lore to all lores, that one.
Right. Go ahead then. So the Grand Temple de la Maison, first of all, as far as you're aware, is both a large temple, very large, almost the size of a small village, 8 to 10 stories high, with an unknown number of tunnels and catacombs and vaults underneath it. In addition, it's a stronghold of the followers of Aron, as you know, the god of the sea and deep places, and also of secrets. So, one thing most people don't know is that it's also used as the archives of the Kingdom of Golden Glens. They are actually the keepers of every single birth certificate and certificate of nobility and so on and such like, and with a bit over 10,000 nobles in Golden Glens, give or take a couple of hundred due to war and conflict at any time, they've probably got their hands full. You know, there's a nightly order, the Deep Watch, connected to them, but to your surprise, pretty much none of your spirits know anything about them. They're significantly skilled at keeping their business hidden from anybody. Lord Anton, you know, he was a Grand Master of the Order of the Golden Wyvern, and cousin of the King of Golden Glens at the time. He was slain in a battle against a sea dragon in the inland sea of Ramon, where he wielded a glaive given to him by the king named Scale Smiter, supposedly extra effective against any sort of draconic being. He did kill the sea dragon, but not before it took his entire fleet down with it. So that's pretty much what you know currently. Anything else specific you want to look for?
As I've already searched this place for information on that priestess, not currently.
Very well. In that case, I think we'll move forward to the command meeting. Who is going to be present there?
Me at least, and I'm guessing I'll bring Sarah at the minimum because she's our making sure we get paid lady.
Yeah, Mador, I assume.
Preacher, probably.
Yes.
All your entire senior staff has been invited, so it's pretty much up to you all.
Then
Yeah.
It's in the Duchess's Grand Banquet Hall, which is huge enough that you don't really feel cramped, even though there are probably over 200 people in here, with the various military staffs, knightly orders, other functionaries, looking and following what's going on. The Viscount, now again out of his steam-powered armor, looking mostly like a fat old man, is wandering about, handshaking, gives you a big smile. Captain Marisol, it's good to see you.
And you.
Please, there will be refreshments served, canapes, small quail, and of course wine and ale. No stronger spirits until we are done with the planning meeting. If you look at the map, his wizards pull up a rather large map that they project onto one of the walls. You will see that we are in Ravensbridge here currently.
Shoggoth.
Yes, sir.
That's not a map. That's just a gray overlay. There we go.
Yeah, probably using some time to load in.
Yeah. Game on.
We are currently here in Ravensbridge. They zoom in on the map. You might have to do that yourself, though, but pretty much in the lower middle of the kingdom. Almost all of the different counties have, or domains have, reported that there are gathering undead in the sort of numbers that they cannot actually just ride out and annihilate them. Any domain here you see that is left blank is currently not under attack. The valley and the chained lands are of course added because they are constant threats no matter what we do, and we will need to take them into account in our planning. Nossa, we have beaten back the grand force that attacked us, and we are now in a situation where we can support our kinsmen and women around us who are all reporting that they are under attack. To the north, in Brunhout, up in Senneter, there was an attack on a warding stone, as you call them. But it was beaten back by a brave party of adventurers. Actually, one of them is like our martial preacher here, of the more mechanical bent, and also fights with his fists, from what I hear. Senator currently does not need aid. They are in, so it is us and Senator now. However, Guardian reports that there is another large incursion heading down from Thebes. 2, maybe 300,000 slave soldiers. So their main force will be tied up in dealing with this attack. Some sort of storm giant Archon leading them. He tried once before, he failed. Seems to be coming back for a second round. We will, of course, punch his face in this time as we did last time. So, for you mercenaries, the rest of you, you have already gotten your orders. It is number 17 that is current. That is the one you follow. Orders 1 through 20, except for 17, you can burn. They are simply to confuse any spies. To the northwest, in Chapai. For those of you mercenaries not very well acquainted with Golden Glens, Chapai is known as the Grand City, or the entire region is built on what used to be one humongously huge city. With the free city of Maricor, a city of knights and scholars dedicated to keeping the undead of Chapai, who were already a problem before this whole mess started, down. They are reporting that there is a ghoul wielding a black khopesh, setting up an army of ghouls ready to attack probably Maricor. Somebody will have to go up there and face these threats. Caractère Chevalier itself reports that the city has been almost hermetically sealed by some sort of magical field, and all of the corpses in the graveyards are rising. Ghosts are, well, doing their thing, ghosting, I guess you could call it, haunting, yes. And from the lakes, both to the north and the south of Caractère Chevalier, the undead of the waters are rising and attacking. We will send a small elite force to go there. I would like either the company of Captain Walter or the company of Captain Marisol to take this mission. As I do not believe any of the other mercenary companies have a chance of success at Caractère Chevalier itself. Of course, the king and his royal knights, in addition to Grand Champion Remaldus, are all fighting the good fight in Caractère Chevalier. I do not think it would fall, even if we do not reinforce it, but I would be remiss as a noble of Golden Glens if I did not send reinforcements when the king's abode itself is under attack. Last is La Rochette, to the east. It will be a longer bit of travel. You would have to go through Arwillar, unless you have some way of flying over the Valley of Gnashing Teeth. And even that I would not recommend. It is known that the orcs in the valley have both wyverns and smaller dragons of the red scale variety as allies. They have attacked zeppelins going over there before. It is a no-fly zone currently. La Rochette is not yet under siege, but they have reported that the cities of Langon, Lacanau, La Linde have all already been besieged and beaten the besiegers back. In the case of Langon and Lacanau, twice. And they believe that the hordes that besieged them weren't properly besieging them, but more just flowing around them like water flows around a rock, heading for La Rochette itself. Of course, should La Rochette fall, that is also the bastion against the mutated demonic beasts of the Chainlands. They will be able to flow freely south into the country. And La Rochette also has one of these warding stones. So, it would be up to Captain Walther and Captain Marisol who wishes to go where. La Rochette, I believe, should be an elite company. Mostly because you travel much faster than the regular mercenaries. No offense meant. And he looks over at the 15 or 20 mercenary captains who don't have experienced adventuring parties at their backs. Just hundreds of regular soldiers. I will leave you to discuss this with your staffs. We reconvene in no later than a quarter of a bell. Decisions need to be made. We will need to start marching by the latest in the morning. One, and for those going to La Rochette, at the maximum of 3 days from now. If we are to reach our goals in time to actually make a difference. Payment, of course, will be the same, with the added caveat that any Grave Knight defeated is now worth 250 gold pieces. Any other greater undead, liches, and that sort of thing will be paid an extra bounty for on a case-by-case basis. I will leave you to it. Refreshments are being served.
Well, people, what do we do?
Well, much as I'd like to answer His Majesty's summons, I think they can cope without us. La Rochette, then.
Master Yodi?
He's not there, you see.
Huh. I thought he would be here. Oh well. So where's the swamp he was talking about, just so I know on the map?
That would be in Gramont. The duchy of, not the duchy, but the domain of Gramont. I can't remember the rank of the noble currently. Need to make myself a cheat sheet.
Probably a count.
Probably.
Yeah, that's the area south of La Rochette, I suppose.
Yeah, I do know that Master Yodi would vote for La Rochette.
Oh, that sounds like a good choice as any. Sounds dangerous. They'll pay us extra for that. Speaking
yeah.
of, you need to bring up our last payment. We were supposed to get a 50% bonus for extra hazard and
We
bonus
did.
pays.
Besides, isn't that your job now?
I'm here to remind you that you have to get the money. You're the important one here. I'm just some punts underneath a captain in a mercenary company. You're Le Captain.
Le Capitan, yes. Well,
Anyways, you have the nice hat, so they listen to you.
this hat is pretty nice, although a bit singed. Well,
Out of the two options, this is definitely the more dangerous one for many reasons. As the Viscount said, the king can probably hold his ground, but Walter could probably help spoil the attack and assist. The dangers in Gramont and La Rochette are definitely higher, in my opinion.
And if we recall, I know Marisol quite likes Walter, but when they were waiting for us in the mists, they weren't doing very well. So reinforcing the sure battle probably a safer one if we want our esteemed captain to have a boyfriend after this event.
True. But then I say that we want La Rochette. I'll go talk to Walter and see if he agrees that they will take Crac de Chevalier.
There's another thing to remember. Thanks to Estrella, I am sure we can make very good time there.
True.
I'll do my best to find the fastest way.
Yeah, and
We still have a bounty to hunt an orc warlord in the Valley of Gnashing Teeth anyways, so, maybe we stumble on a bounty on our way through.
that sounds like a good plan then. I'll go talk to Walter. Walter?
The valley is pretty big, though.
Yes, Captain Marisol.
My companions and I have talked it over, and we are suggesting we take La Rochette.
Off to the Marquess, yeah. Well, it's no skin off my back if you want to take the most dangerous mission. In my estimation, that one seems like it's going to be pretty nasty. Note you'll have to travel through Orvila on the way there, and from what I understand, they are also expecting or seeing an influx of undead. Could be there's extra pay to be had, but I would not like to hazard my men in that sort of protracted fight, especially not in the swamps of Gramont. They might not be as toxic as swamps around Ravensbridge. That was a bit of an overstatement earlier. They're just regular swamps with, all of the snakes and spiders and hags and dragons and all of the other crap you find in a swamp.
We are agreed then.
Absolutely. If you had insisted to take the capital, I would probably have had to disagree, but we are willing to go there. We won't have any avenue of escape. That's our biggest issue, but I do have this for you, he says, and he takes out a little blackboard.
She takes it. What is this?
This, I have an identical one. We will be able to exchange up to 5 fully written boards of messages per day, so we can keep each other apprised of how it goes. It's a fairly recent magical invention from some small barony called Lions Bridge or Lions Haven, something like that. Not on this continent anyway, but it seems they have at least one brilliant wizard. Even a college of magic, from what I understand, which is not something you usually find in the barony, but who cares?
Probably very rich barony then.
I wouldn't know, never been there. Maybe we'll go sometime to see it. It's probably a nice, peaceful place to spend our retirement years.
How about a honeymoon?
Maybe a honeymoon, that sounds nice. I mean, it's in between the... I can't remember. There's some sort of nights on foot and some sorts of nights on horse, so we'll feel right at home after serving in Golden Glens for a while. Should be nice and peaceful.
Well, most things will be nice and peaceful compared to this.
Absolutely. They also have a world-famous chef, I believe. I think he's called Lug or something. A gnome.
Well, we'll take each other there for a honeymoon then. It's a promise.
Absolutely. He turns to his staff and okay, boys, we're going to the capital. Damn it, now I'm starting to pick up this ridiculous Golden Glens accent.
I'll see you later then.
I will see you later, my dear. Let's try to get at least one night together before we leave.
I'll find you. Tonight.
Yes, and I'm certain one of our companions will find us. Probably before I manage to get my boots off.
We'll just have to be quick and lock the door.
Indeed. If I place my boots outside another room at the tavern, maybe it'll distract them for a couple of minutes, thinking we are in there.
Good thinking.
Ah, see, that is why I'm a captain.
I'll see you later.
Indeed. Fair winds, and may you be well.
May the gods watch over you.
Not with too much attention, I hope. He walks back to his staff.
I walk back to mine. They were just way too happy to let us have La Rochette, so I think we have our work cut out for us.
Aye. I hope Sir Walter enjoys the capital. It's a fine place when it's not under siege.
I slide the tablet up in my sleeve.
What's that? Looks like some kind of board.
It's, according to Walter, it's a way to send messages between us.
Oh, it's very handy. How kind of him.
Well, we'll have to try and make this happen. We'll just, while we're waiting, we'll start looking at ways and passages and stuff. I'm assuming we can zoom in on the map they have and blah, blah, blah.
Well, I hope you can zoom in on the map I've put up.
Yes.
Yeah.
You probably do want to actually have a proper look at that and put your travel plan up.
Well, we can either go straight through with all those dangers, or we can go around via Lamaze. I have asked Master Yodi to look for things that make it easier to traverse a swamp.
The knights had some kind of means of protection from the gases, I think.
I take it everybody's back at the tower and doing this?
No, we're still there. We're waiting for them to come back after the 15-minute and the quarter bell.
Well, after the quarter bell, it's all decided. The knight Thorns will go to La Rochette. Walter will take his men to Crac de Chevalier. The rest will go to Reims. Not Reims, but Maricourt. About 900 mercenaries in all. And, well, for the knights and the regular, what little there is of a regular army in Golden Glens that's not knights, professional archers and engineers mostly, it's their orders aren't discussed openly. After that, it's mostly just mingling.
Well, I suggest we get back to the tower then after this. Agreed?
Agreed. Although I need to pay some respects to the Marquesa first.
I'm sure we have bowed to her when we got in, but sure.
Well, anyway, I make sure that I have a small chat with her about the current state of the Men of Clay, her guards, and assure that everything is on her approval as such before I leave.
Right. Give me a lore warfare to see if you manage to explain it to her in a way that she understands. That's going to be a DC 20.
Okay. 1 second. Moving stuff around my screen.
Right. Excellent. Yeah. You explain it. She's happy with the state of things. So she's not going to give you any shit for that.
Wonderful. And excuse myself and go for the tower with my friends.
Right. And while you're doing that, Edemir's out in the swamp.
Yes, I wanted to be trying to talk to the trees using the Gorget to contact the emissary from the Emerald Glade Grove.
Yeah, it's takes about an hour for that message to come through, but you're a patient druid. You've done this before, and one of the small pools of somewhat clear water close to you form into her upper body as she projects herself through it. Master Edemir, what can I do for you?
I was wondering how the grove is doing.
For now, the grove is safe. This could have gone very, very differently if you had let the warding stone of Ravensbridge, or if the warding stone of Brunhout had fallen. We would have been attacked from many sides. But the forces of the grove we're being pushed slowly, inexorably. Not a lot. We can hold out for months, maybe a year still, but even with an influx of crusaders from other temples of Apollo, hunters of Illyriel, and the kingdom of the dwarves, even dragons are coming to our aid, feeling that there's something wrong.
Have y'all figured out more of where the attacks are coming from?
I think many of the attacks in the kingdom are mostly to keep them from sending aid to us. Diversions, if you will, even though they cost thousands, tens of thousands of lives. I think their main goal is in the globe. I can't say exactly why yet, but I know for a fact that in the middle of the grove there is an ancient circle connected to the Prime and to also to the Void. I think it's a very, very powerful circle for chaining or keeping something or someone inside. Exactly why they want to fight their way to it, or why they would want to chain somebody in such a powerful place. The most powerful place on this continent, at the very least. We don't know yet. We need you to keep traveling with your companions and try to unravel this.
So no place in specific other than the grove? Where is the grove located?
On the map, it would be Le Champ Eternel is then in the north or northeast of Nosans. The march you're in. On the border of the Valley of Gnashing Teeth.
Got it. All right, then I'll keep an eye out.
All of this is connected. That much I know. What is your plan now? Where are you headed?
I'm not quite sure. I haven't met up with the rest of the guys. I know that they were at some meeting to see where to go next.
Yeah, probably indoors. Well,
probably.
I have contacted one of our senior agents. He will try to meet up with you within the next 2 or 3 weeks. Hopefully he'll have some information for you. Also, if you meet a raccoon with a huge hat and with a feather in it and a rapier and a red cloak, that's not the emissary I'm sending. He just loves causing havoc. So be aware of that. And don't play cards with him.
Why not?
He cheats. And he's very good at it. I have tried to pray to Master Apollo to rein him in, but Master Apollo seems to have a sense of humor when it comes to his emissary. I just wish his emissary could be a bit more useful and a bit less annoying. But it seems you have company, so we will speak again soon if there's not anything you need to talk about immediately.
All right, I'll be waiting for the emissary.
You will recognize him. He usually comes flying in with his golden mail at the most inopportune time. However, your friend is almost upon us. Apollo be with you. She makes the mark of Apollo for the water splashes down, and seconds later you hear like rustling in the bushes as Eodi comes shuffling out.
Why? Why are we in the middle of this swamp? Foxes out here stargazing? You there, I have need of you.
Why do you need me?
Listen. We must go slay a dragon. I need you. You are a druid, right?
Yes.
We must protect ourselves from poison, acid. Metasol is afraid of all of these things. You are the answer. Why are you out here? Never mind, I don't care. Come with me, we must go now.
And I'll follow behind him.
You will protect us from the poison. You will protect us from the acid. We must slay a dragon.
Sure, what's got you all worked up?
Yoda does not want to be a book.
A book?
A book? Yes. I have been told, if I do not do the thing, that I will become a book. Do you think I would make a nice book, Fox?
I mean, maybe? Your skin is sort of leathery.
You know what? I have threatened to make you a hat before. I will do it again.
And I will threaten to make you into a book.
You cannot make me into a book. I am not afraid of you, tiny fox. I am afraid of giant dragons. Now come, we must go. We must find the rest. We must do what we must do.
All right.
And I'll march his ass back to town.
Right. So, towards the end of the evening, I'm guessing you all finally meet up in the tower.
Yeah.
All right. This is where we're going. We have 3 days to get ready. So we can either travel through the Badlands or we can go around them. Any thoughts?
Well, as I mentioned at the meeting, there are bounties for notable orc heads in the valley, so we can travel in a straight line. Saves us a lot of walking. Nobody likes to do that. Maybe we find some notable orc chieftain heads. We bring those home with us after we go to La Rocha and deal with that problem. Extra payments.
The
Less walking,
fastest,
more money.
yeah,
What you want?
but the shortest way is not always the fastest.
We just fly over it. We'll get there in no time.
They have wyverns and shit.
So?
I'd like to hear from some other. There are rumours up in Centair about that valley, but he might know more about it.
There's quite a bit of mountain ranges in the way. Can we actually get through those easily?
There's plenty of passes. The question is, what's in those passes that we have to carve our way through? Still beats 6 weeks of walking around the long way.
Some of it will be probably be sailing though.
I don't know that there's a dock on this side of Gramont. Or the one we are currently standing in. Nassans. I'm pretty sure the town that used to be south of Ravensbridge, that was their village on the lake, has long since been crushed by orcs coming from the valley.
The safest will definitely be to go along the roads. But then we're not hired because we do the safest thing, are we?
They quite specifically hired us to be the fastest. And all of my
And
studies on the region has said that if you're brave enough to traverse the valley, the fastest way is to carve a path through the valley.
No, I can't argue with that one.
A couple of orc heads on banners, they'll leave us alone.
we
Couple
do
of-
have
Don't underestimate them.
a good history of converting orcs, don't we?
Not keeping them alive.
This is true. But then they
That's
are
their
not
own
very
fault.
they are not very good at keeping themselves alive. Although
We were lucky that they decided to join us the last time, the scouts. If they had decided to actually fight us, it could have become difficult when they were really good scouts.
do we know anyone that actually know this area so that we could actually ask someone who is familiar with this area? I came up from the south, so I have never been to that part of the country.
Well, I'm from the north, Saint-Cyr, so
Well, I fought in the Valley of the Teeth, but that was a couple of millennia ago, so not much help there.
No. Do the Men of Clay have any scouts and volunteering that has been around or know
Probably.
about someone?
They might.
Could you check?
Could ask. Yes.
I have some information that's been passed on to me by the Grandmaster. I think this is probably a time to say it.
Yes, definitely. What is it?
Millions of orcs are fleeing the Valley of the Gnashing Teeth. They're fleeing. They are scared. When have you seen orcs run from fear?
never.
Something's in there is causing them to run. The Raven Guard Knights are, they're small skirmishes, but they're coming through in mass.
That does fit what the scouts said last time. That was the reason they followed us. Remember? They were looking for a new home.
Well, if whatever is in there causes millions of orcs to flee, that's not good.
And they're also not known for their unity. It could be lots of small groups that are disorganized, fleeing individually, which is why they haven't solved the problem.
But we are a very small group, and it's not necessarily that we can do anything about whatever they're fleeing from either. I would not like to just, take a shortcut to never get there.
We're also a small group with an incredibly able scout. All we have to do is, if we see the big bad thing that we don't want to deal with, go around it. Not a problem.
I'm pretty confident I could sneak through with Vera as well. But not all of us are that sneaky. And of course, we can find the safest way possible, but there is no guarantee. One
Sneaking
mishap.
it over land travel is a little different. Hopefully, we see, say it's a titan or a dragon or something. We see it way before it has a chance to see us. If we accidentally walk into it, not much sneaking away from that.
Yeah, but all of their senses are pretty good. So just because we're out of sight doesn't mean we're out of their hearing or smelling if the wind's bad.
Iodi walks up with like an arm full of potions. And he dumps them on the table. That's 2 for everybody except for me and Ed. And he looks around and he goes, "What do you mean? We want to find the dragon so that we can kill the dragon."
Dragon? What dragon?
We're not planning to fight a dragon.
Oh, we are definitely going to kill a dragon. Marisol already told me it's okay.
I was told we're fighting a dragon.
Yeah, we're gonna go kill a dragon. Don't worry, friends. We are going to do this.
Marisol, what is this about?
I told you Master Yodi would vote for La Rochelle, right?
Aye, but you didn't mention a dragon. What kind of dragon? Oh, wait. It's a swamp. Black dragon?
It's a large, fully grown black dragon. We're going to kill it. I require its head. I require its heart. We must do this. There is no conversation.
Oh, hell, my
That
boy.
would make orcs run for sure, but
that we are talking about the orcs in the valley, not in the swamps.
He picks up one of the potions on the table. Look here. Elixir of life for all of you. We will be safe. It will be fine.
Well, dragons and knights. I can't say no.
Good, it is agreed. Iodi will be ready to leave in the morning.
But how do we get there? That's what we're discussing, Master Yodi. We can travel.
What do you mean? We always do the same thing. We walk. Get the horses, get the wagon, let us go.
Aye, but do we cut across the valley of the gnashing teeth or go south and around the lake?
We go the fastest way. Iodi does not want to be a book.
A book? Who's going to turn you into a book?
A bigger, scarier dragon. We must go kill the little dragon so that the big dragon does not make me a book. I do not understand why everyone is so confused about this.
So either you become a book or we all could become a snack.
Well, to be fair, it's always a risk in our line of work to become a snack.
Yes, but still, so far we did very well in picking our fights, and I do not want to change that right now. I like my life.
Picking?
I think Iodi might become a snack if we don't do this.
Iodi does not want to be a book. Listen, let me try a different tactic. Hold on. There's treasure.
Ooh, treasure.
I'm in.
Huh?
I mean, you had me at dragon, but, you know.
See, it is all solved. We pack the things, we make the trip. Let us go. Why are we talking about this?
So, but do you suggest we go around to get to the swamp and travel through the swamp to La Rochette, or do you suggest we go across the valley?
I say we take the shortest way. We do not take the long way. I do not want to be a book.
Alright, so we know that there is a big bad evil in the valley, apparently making thousands or if not millions of orcs run, and a dragon you want to fight. So that would be two extremely difficult fights. If we have to choose one, then I'd say we take the dragon because we know what is waiting for us there, and it's saving one of ours. We do not know what's in the valley.
There is.
The valley is faster.
Not if
we take the long way.
The valley is only faster if we are not getting killed or stopped by something we can beat.
There is also
apparently
another.
Yodi might die if we don't take the fast way.
Yeah.
The longer way could be the fastest if we don't have that much to fight. Just saying.
And particularly if we get a boat from the ruins of Lamass and over to the other side.
If you're wanting to actually hear another reason, so yes?
Go ahead, preacher.
A great big bad unknown is driving a lot of orcs out of there. Would be kind of interesting to know what the big bad is.
So
but we're not getting paid for that.
Yes, but if something big and bad decides that this is my new home ground and tries to go over to Ravensbridge, there's not going to be any Ravensbridge left.
And with no Ravensbridge left, there will be no one to pay our bounties. Or our
You see what
pay.
I'm saying? If they are strong enough to displace the entire nation, maybe it'd be a good idea to find out who it is. I'm not keen on dying again. But I'm just saying that it kind of makes sense to find out what it is in there.
But how do we travel through the Badlands? Does anybody have a clue? Is there a pass we can get through that makes it faster? Because going over the mountains will take way too much time.
I can try to find out.
Well, then you do that. Preacher, you check if there are anyone that actually has local knowledge.
In
Yep.
my studies today, it is well known that the fastest route to La Roche is the Valley of Gnashing Teeth. The problem being, it is considered suicidal for the typical person to travel through the Valley of Gnashing Teeth.
We are not typical persons.
The fastest route would be to smash our way through the Valley of Gnashing Teeth, because after the first batch of things foolish enough to attack us, we likely won't be bothered again.
I agree with Sarah on this one, actually.
The next one that repeats another. Come on, creative people. What's the best way to get through? Is it actually to smash our way through? Is it to disguise ourselves? Do we want to try and go sneaky?
I mean,
Do we want to
should
leave cars
obviously
behind and no horses? Can I finish speaking for once? Sit down, shut up. So, there are other options than going head on smashing stuff. Please examine those, sneaky people. Preacher gets up and goes to inspect the two new automatons for a cooling off period.
That's what I said. Fighting isn't always the fastest. I'll see if I can get more information about a sneaky route through there.
You do. And then perhaps you and Zara can put your heads together and think about some kind of disguise for us lot.
The thing is, we have a very big advantage. We are not many.
a key thing to think about this whole disguise yourself is these are organizations known for heavy infighting, and if you're not part of their specific in group, you're a target to be attacked. So, unless we are capable of redisguising ourselves for every single batch of orcs that we happen to pass across with foreknowledge, you're not going to disguise yourself. Obviously, we should make use of Estrella and Mai's skill to navigate through while avoiding packs, but I doubt that we're going to avoid every pack of orcs through the valley. So smashing our way through is what happens when we get caught inevitably trying to make a pass through the Badlands, which aren't known for their hospitable and, sneaky passes.
Well, we need a better map then. We need more details on where we can get through it. What's the passes we need to find? Because we cannot go over the mountains. We do not have the time nor the resources to do so.
Then let's
Ways
meet.
into the valley were findable, but specific details in the valley are scarce on account of many people who travel in there are eaten by orcs.
Let's meet again in a few hours and we'll see what we've come up with. And Estrella leaves the room. Do you look for, take a guess, Bruno?
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Can I have a word with you, Marisol? In private.
Sure. I walk to my quarters because that's one of the few places I have that is private, and also I need to pack. What are you thinking?
I also have some information that was told to me by the Grandmaster that I was sworn not to say unless I think it may be possible.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Cal mentioning giants being sent to the temple?
Yes.
That temple also keeps powerful magical items out of people's hands. There is a arsenal in there.
And where's this temple?
It is down south in just below the lake.
It's out of the way from where we want to go. I see it here on the temple. On the map, I mean. And we could go back and go through there on the way back.
And that Lord Atum,
Mm-hmm.
he was a Grand Masters of the Golden Wyvern, so 200 years ago.
Another potential grave knight then?
Definitely one.
And where would he be?
That I don't know. That's all what we heard from what Leo and what Cal said.
Well, the Grand Temple is out of the way, although doable, but then we won't be traveling through the valley. We would have to go by boat, I think.
I don't think that's going to happen. It seems like everyone wants to go through the valley, and which I have to agree on some point. But just to keep that knowledge in the back, what's in
Well,
there
I
that
can't do anything about this knowledge unless people are agreeing that we should go via there. So,
but we have our orders first.
La Rochette it is.
Eode lets us go there first, or we go to the swamp and fight the dragon, then shoot up to La Rochelle. So a large black dragon, I don't know if I'm looking forward to find that yet.
A large black dragon, well, it'll have to. We'll have to find it first. But I really don't want Master Yoda to be turned into a book either.
I also know that there are a lot of mages in that place where I will be very uncomfortable.
Well, I hate to say this, Sir Knight, but suck it up. That's what we do.
That's what you do, and I'll head out the door.
Right. And on that note, we are heading our time limit, so we will let our esteemed master streamer, Mr. Tulmar, aka EOD, find somebody to raid. We will not be here for the next 2 weekends due to real life intruding and taking away, well, me and other players. But hopefully, we will be back on December 6th, 10th, something like that. So this episode, of course, will go up on the YouTubes sometime tomorrow. It takes me 6-8 hours to render and upload it, so it'll be up on the 12th sometime during the evening, I assume. For now, stay safe, stay healthy, and be well, and I will see you all next time.
Bye.
We
Bye.
will see you all next time.
Things that would maybe play into mapping weather patterns or just normal situations. I don't know.
Climate,
Ecology?
climata.
Oh, okay.
Climate.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, they're doing plant shit.
Yeah.